We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
So, electrophilic addition reaction. Reaction means bond formation. Most of the organic reaction takes place between electrophile and nucleophile. That means the bond making and bond breaking is occur by using this nucleophile and electrophile, and the starting product is converted into the final product. Reaction can be classified as a acid-base reaction, functional group transformation reaction, carbon-carbon double bond formation, or mechanism-based reaction, etc. So what is reaction mechanism? Is the detailed study about the how bond is made and how bond is formed as starting material is converted into the product. And this is carried out by one step or either many series of steps. One step reaction is called as concerted reaction. Okay. In bimolecular substitution nucleophilic reaction, SN2 reaction is the concerted reaction. That means no matter how many bonds are broken or formed, starting material is converted directly into the product. While the stepwise reaction, like in SN1, unimolecular substitution reaction, there are more than one step is involved. That means the first starting material is converted into intermediate. This intermediate is unstable, called as reactive intermediate, which then goes on to form the product. Okay. So regardless of how many steps there are in a reaction, there are only 2 ways to break the bond. And by breaking this bond, electron may either divide equally or unequally between 2 atoms of the bond. And this is carried out by 2 reactions, homolysis reaction or heterolysis reaction. Homolysis reaction, in that half-headed curve is used. These arrows are needed to transfer the one single electron to each of the atom. Here, in homolysis process, we take one of the molecule and half-headed curved arrow show that one of the electron from this covalent bond is taken by B atom and one of the electron is taken by A atom. So, they produce the free radical product. Free radical product, that means it doesn't contain full of octet. Okay. Now in heterolysis, full-headed curved arrow is used. This arrow shows that one of the atom from this molecule take both the electrons. Now in this molecule, arrow drawn B side. Okay. So B atom take both the electron from this covalent bond and carry negative charge, while A atom donate their electron to this B atom, they carry positive charge. So in heterolysis process, carbocation and carbon anion is formed. Now, carbocation means which carry positive charge, or the ion or atom which carry positive charge are electron deficient species. So they act as an electrophile. While the B atom, which carry lone pair of electrons or which carry negative charge, so they have extra lone pair of electron, so they easily donate their electron, so they act as a nucleophile. Here in homolysis process, Free radicals is act as an electrophile because they also electron deficient species, or we call that they are electron loving atoms. Here another arrows which are used in organic reaction is, this is first one is reaction arrow drawn between starting material and product in an equation. This one is equilibrium arrow. This arrow, double-headed arrow, is drawn between resonance structure. Full-headed curved arrow used in heterolysis process, and half-headed curved arrow is used in homolysis process. Now addition reaction. Okay, our topic is electrophilic addition reaction. So first we see the what is reaction, then what is addition reaction. Addition reactions occur when two reactants combine together and produce one single product with no atom left over. That means here our chapter is alkene. So I am taking the example of this alkene. Alkene, which contain double bond, one of the pi bond and one sigma bond. So this pi bond is broken and this another reactant combined to this two carbon atom and produce two new sigma bond and produce saturated product. Okay, so new group X and Y added to starting material and pi bond is broken and two sigma bond are formed. So addition reaction are characteristic of reaction of pi bond. Ions and radicals may add across a multiple bond. Accordingly, addition, ionic addition or radical addition. Ionic addition, that means either we add carbocation or carbon anion. Radical addition means we add the radicals. So depending on this name, there are again two types of reaction: electrophilic addition reaction, nucleophilic addition reaction. And depending on this radical, we call radical addition reaction. So alkenes. So we see the previous structure. Alkene is unsaturated compound. Unsaturated compound, that means which carry double bond or triple bond in their structure. Double bond or triple bond means one sigma bond and another pi bond is present in their structure. Now we see the structure of alkene is planar with bond angle of 120 degrees. The carbon-carbon double bond are sp2 hybridized, which is made up of one sigma bond and one pi bond. Alkene is a non-polar compound, so they are soluble in non-polar solvent and poorly soluble in water. So alkene is classified in symmetrical alkene and unsymmetrical alkene. So what is symmetrical alkene? Symmetrical alkene is an alkene which has the same substituent on both sides of the double bond. Means here we take the example of ethene. The first carbon attached to same substituent hydrogen, and here second carbon is attached to the same substituent hydrogen. That means at the both sides same hydrogen atom is present. So if we divide this compound from between here, okay, or keep the mirror between this, then it produces the mirror images. So we call that it is symmetrical alkene. While unsymmetrical alkene have different substituent at each end of the double bond. Okay, each end of the double bond. So we can see here, from here first carbon attached to this double bond and this one second carbon attached to this double bond. So substitution present here is first carbon 2 hydrogen atom. They are same. But if we see the second carbon atom which carry one hydrogen atom and one methyl group as a substituent. So if we break this compound from here or put the mirror here, then it doesn't produce the mirror image. So we call it is unsymmetrical alkene. Now, electrophilic addition reaction of alkene. So we see that Alkene is unsaturated compound which contain pi bond and one sigma bond. This pi bond produce the area of high electron density. Therefore, area of high negative charge. Okay, this pi bond produce the high negative charge on the alkene molecule. So ultimately, it acts as a nucleophile. Okay, so it is act as a nucleophile. So easily react with electrophile, which are electron deficient species or electron loving species. Okay, and they are either full of positive charge or slightly positive charge. So nucleophile react with electrophile by reaction we called is the electrophilic addition reaction. The mechanism of electrophilic addition reaction is simple. It is divided in two steps. First step is formation of carbocation and second step formation of the product. So here we take the alkene, okay, electrophilic addition reaction of alkene. So when we take the starting material alkene, so in the first step what happened? The pi bond of this alkene attack on the electrophile of the another molecule. Now here you see that we use this full headed curved arrow. Okay, so heterolysis process is applied. So what happened? This atom E, which is act as an electrophile, this atom attacked by this pi bond, okay, and attached to one of the carbon atom, either here or here, okay, and Y atom which take both the electron from this covalent bond and leave the group which carry negative charge. So it take both the electron, carry the negative charge, so ultimately it act as a positive charge atom. This positive charge atom act as a electrophile. This electrophile is attacked by this alkene which act as a nucleophile. Clear? So first it produces the carbocation intermediate which is unstable. Okay, this reactive intermediate is unstable. So they are ready to complete their octet. So they easily react with nucleophile. So in the second step, rapid reaction with a negative ion. So here the atom which carry negative charge or carry the extra lone pair of electron act as a nucleophile. This nucleophile attack the positively charged carbocation atom, okay, and give the product of addition reaction. Okay, so we see in the addition reaction definition, when two reactant combine together, it produce one single product and there is no other atom left. Both this atom take part in the reaction and combine to this molecule and produce the new saturated product. So from this pi bond and one sigma bond, two new sigma bond product is generated. So why do alkene and alkynes undergo addition reaction? Okay, alkenes and alkynes undergo addition reaction because they contains pi bond in their structure and sigma bond in their structure. And first, pi bond in alkene, pi bond is converted into two sigma bond is typically energy favored, and this sigma bond is higher in energy compared to this pi and sigma bond, and all over process is exothermic by nature. Then they apply to sp2 hybridization in their structure and easily capturing electrophiles. Now chemical reaction. Chemical reaction of electrophilic addition reaction, in that first reaction is catalytic hydrogenation. Addition and hydrogenation, okay? That means addition of hydrogen to double or triple bond to yield the saturated product. Okay, from the name, we easily recognize that addition of hydrogen. So when we add this hydrogen to the alkene molecule, they reduce this alkyl molecule and converted into the product. Okay. Another catalytic, that means in the presence of catalyst. Here metal catalysts such as platinum, palladium, nickel are used. So when platinum or palladium catalyst we use, the temperature is 25 to 90 degrees Celsius is applied, and supposed to be used the nickel catalyst, then high temperature of 140 to 200 degrees Celsius is applied. So why we used here catalyst? Okay. So first, catalyst is a substance that speed up the chemical reaction, but it not consumed by the reaction. That means the recovered chemically unchanged at the end of the reaction. So catalyst is used here to speed up the reaction, and it doesn't take part in the reaction, means as it is they are present at the end of the product. Okay. The example is ethylene symmetrical alkene. React with hydrogen molecule in the presence of platinum catalyst and low pressure is applied, produce the ethane. Second, hexane. This is unsymmetrical alkene. See here, carbon attached to two hydrogen atom, while here the carbon attached to one hydrogen and one another functional group. So it is act as an unsymmetrical alkene, react with hydrogen atom, produce the hexane. So by catalytic hydrogenation, saturated alkane is produced. Starting is ethylene and the product is ethane, means from alkene to alkane is generated. Second reaction is addition of halogen. Okay, addition of halogen means chlorine, bromine, iodine, fluorine, etc. So it is carried out in the presence of either in inert solvent or in aqueous medium. So first we take the inert solvent. Now what is inert solvent? Inert solvent is a solvent that doesn't react with anything in this solution. That means it is like a catalyst. They are present as it is at the end of the reaction. So alkene when react with halogen at room temperature or either in dark condition, it produces the dihalides. Okay. While we take inert solvent, it produces the dihalides. Always remember. Okay. The solvent system is inert. Inert solvent, it produces the dihalides. The inert solvent we used here are tetrachloromethane or dichloromethane. Okay, and the halogen we take here are bromine or chlorine. Why? Because iodine will not react with alkene because it is less reactive than chlorine and bromine. Compared to chlorine, bromine, they are less reactive, while the fluorine is very reactive. And addition reaction is exothermic by nature, so it is highly reactive, so it produces the explosion during the reaction. So we take only bromine or chlorine while we take inert solvent. Okay. Inert solvent is carbon tetrachloride and dichloromethane. So alkene react with halogen in the presence of inert solvent. It produces dihalides. Dihalides means di means two. Two halogen atom attached to the alkene molecule and converted into dihalide alkene. Okay. Again, we take simple example ethane react with bromine, presence of inert solvent. So 1,2-dibromoethane is produced. Another is cyclohexane. Okay, this is cycloalkane chain which contain one pi bond. So cyclohexane react with bromine in the presence of carbon tetrachloride. It produces 1,2-dibromocyclohexane. Again, mechanism is same or definition is same. One pi bond is broken and two new sigma bond is formed. Okay, here we take bromine. So So both the bromine attached by new sigma bond. Propene react with chlorine in the presence of carbon tetrachloride, produce the 1,2-dichloropropane. So this reaction is happen in the presence of inert solvent and produce the dihalide. Now, suppose to we take water or aqueous medium. So what happened when we add the halogen atom in water? So first, this halogen atom react with this water molecule or dissolve in water molecule and form the, suppose to chlorine dissolve in water. So it form the hydrochloric acid and chloric acid or hypochloric acid. Same like bromine in water produce the HBr plus hypoborous acid. Okay. So, reaction of alkene with halogens in water, chlorine water or bromine water produce halohydrins. Now see here the product is different. In inert solvent it produces dihalide. While we use water medium, so it produces the halohydrin. That means alcohol with a halogen on the adjacent carbon atom. We take example here 1-butene, okay, and we take here chlorine, halogen is chlorine dissolved in water. So first it produces the hydrogen chloride and chloric acid. This chloric acid take part in the reaction. So from that, one hydroxyl group and one chlorine group is attached to this butene molecule and produce halohydrin. Halogen and alcohol group is attached. Okay, so product is 1-chloro-2-butanol. Okay, chlorine atom attached to the carbon atom of the double bond which has the greater number of hydrogen. See here, HOCl. So first it undergo heterolytic reaction. Okay, so in the heterolytic reaction, this hydroxyl group act as a nucleophile and chlorine group which carry the positive charge and act as a electrophile. Okay, here what happened? Chlorine act as a electrophile and hydroxyl group is act as a nucleophile. So first chlorine attached to the alkene atom, produce the carbocation, and then hydroxyl group which is act as a nucleophile attack to the carbocation and produce the product. Okay, and why chlorine attached to greater number of hydrogen atom we see in the next reaction in Markovnikov's rule. So clear? In the presence of inert solvent, when we add halogen, it produces the dihalide. But when we take the water or aqueous medium, it produces the halohydrin. Okay. Now, third reaction, addition of hydrogen halide. Okay. Hydrogen and halide. Halide means again chlorine, bromine, iodine, fluoride. Okay. So, addition reaction with electrophilic reagent. This alkene react with hydrogen halide in gaseous state or in aqueous solution to form addition product. The hydrogen and halogen atom add across the double bond to form haloalkanes. Now see here, which type of product is produced? Haloalkane. Means one halogen atom attached to the alkane group, alkyl halide. So general equation is alkene react with hydrogen halide. It produces halogen attached to the alkane. So haloalkane. And this is the reactivity of hydrogen halide. We see in the addition of halogen, right? So these are less reactive. Iodine is less reactive. So hydrogen iodide is less reactive compared to this bromine and chlorine and compared to fluorine. Now reaction with HCl need a catalyst such as AlCl3, aluminium chloride. This is the example. So ethene when react with hydrogen halide, it produces the 1-chloroethane. Same cyclopentane react with hydrogen iodide, it produces iodocyclopentane. 2-butene react with hydrogen bromide, it produces 2-bromobutane. Okay, so it produces the haloalkanes, and this is the example of symmetrical alkenes. We take here symmetrical alkene. 2-butene and ethene is symmetrical alkene which produce haloalkanes, only one product. Okay. Another reaction is oxidation reaction of alkenes. Oxidation of alkene leads to the formation of ketones and alcohols. For example, in the presence of cool aqueous solution of potassium permanganate, alkene oxidizes to vicinal glycol. Okay, in cool condition, it produces diols. 2 hydroxyl group attached to this molecule, so we call the diols. And if we take acidic potassium permanganate, then it oxidizes the alkene molecule to ketone or acid. Now, Markovnikov rule, the most IMP reaction in this chapter, Markovnikov's rule. So, this rule is applied in unsymmetrical alkene which follow the electrophilic addition reaction. Okay, here I am using unsymmetrical alkene, and the reagent we used is hydrogen halide. Previously we see that addition of hydrogen halide which produce haloalkanes, and last product is only one product is generated. But in Markovnikov's, when you use unsymmetrical alkene, 2 different product is generated, and these 2 different products are not in equal amount. Okay, so what this rule states that in the addition of hydrogen halide to an alkene, okay, when you add this hydrogen halide to alkene, the hydrogen group from this hydrogen halide is added to the carbon atom that already has the greater number of hydrogen atom. So ultimately, halide group is added to the carbon atom that has the less number of hydrogen atom, and this produces the more substituted alkyl halides. Clear? So here we take example propane. This is unsymmetrical alkene. When react with hydrogen halide, hydrogen chloride, 2 product is generated. One is 1-chloropropane and another is 2-chloropropane. 2-chloropropane is major product according to Markovnikov's rule. Why? We see the mechanism. So first, the common mechanism we see in the electrophilic addition reaction, 2-step reaction. First, it generates the carbocation, and the second reaction, nucleophile attack to this carbocation. But what happens when unsymmetrical alkene react with hydrogen halide? So it generates 2 carbocation. Okay, so hydrogen atom either add to first carbon or second carbon, and according to its attachment to this carbon atom, it generates 2 carbocation. So first, it produces primary carbocation, while in the second, it produces secondary carbocation. Okay, and chlorine is act as a nucleophile. Here same hydrolysis process is applied. So we know that the stability of carbocation. Tertiary carbocation is more stable compared to this secondary carbocation compared to primary and compared to methyl. Methyl is least stable. So according to this intermediate, the stable intermediate result in high yield product compared to unstable intermediate and compared to very unstable intermediate. So the secondary carbocation is more stable compared to primary carbocation. So it undergo faster reaction. Okay. So more stable a reaction intermediate, the faster it will be formed and more likely you will get the product. So secondary carbocation undergo faster reaction and combine chlorine atom faster compared to this primary carbocation. And second, this is more stable compared to this one. So it produce major product. Okay. So step 2, rapid reaction with negative ion and produce the 2-chloropropane. Okay. It is the major product. Another example is propane react with HBr. So it produces the 2-bromopropane and 1-bromopropane. Okay. So Markovnikov's rule is clear. Hydrogen is added to those carbon atom which carry the greater number of hydrogen atom, and halide group is added those carbon atom which carry the least number of carbocation. Second, it depends on the stability of the carbocation. Okay, so it produces the major product depend on the stability of carbocation. So we get the two different products which are not in the same amount. Another reaction which follow Markovnikov's rule is acid catalyzed reaction or hydration of alkenes. Okay, hydration of alkenes, that means the alcohol based product is produced. One reaction is react with the acidified water which produce the 2-propanol, while we take the water as a reagent, or addition reaction with sulfuric acid. So first it react with the sulfuric acid and then it react with water molecule, acidified sulfuric acid. So it produce the alcohol based product. Hydration of alkanes, mechanism of reaction of alkane with hydronium ion. Okay. So first step we see that it is the acid base reaction, means it follows the electrophilic addition reaction. The pi bond is take part in the reaction and attacked by the electrophile and produce the carbocation. Now this carbocation is attacked by the nucleophile. Here water is act as a nucleophile. See, oxygen carry 2 lone pair of electrons, so it acts as a nucleophile and attached to this carbocation and create the oxonium ion. Now this oxonium ion here, deprotonation is occur by the base. Okay. And generate the alcohol product and regenerate the acid catalyst. The catalyst means at the end of the product we recovered the catalyst, means as it is present in the solution. So here base either sulfate or water we use. So at the end we get as it is and produce the product and speed up the reaction. Okay, so it also follow the Markovnikov's rule. So electrophilic addition reaction of alkenes, this type of product is generated. Like from the alkene we produce alkane hydrogenation, catalytic hydrogenation, then alcohol acid catalyzed reaction, then halohydrin in the presence of water medium, dihalides in the presence of inert solvent, addition of halogen. Then halide, hydrogen halide, epoxide reaction, cycloalkane reaction. Then this is the oxidation reaction. In cool condition, potassium permanganate react with alkene to produce diol. And in acidified condition, it produces the carbonyl compound. So this is the example of electrophilic addition reaction of alkenes. Now, anti-Markovnikov's rule. Okay, this is also most important reaction and it is the opposite to the Markovnikov's rule. Why I am telling this? Because it follows the free radical addition reaction. Markovnikov's follow the electrophilic addition reaction. Okay, while anti-Markovnikov's follow the free radical addition reaction. Means radicals we add. and this radical is produced by the homolysis process. So when HBr, hydrogen halide or hydrogen bromide, HBr is added to an alkene, in the absence of peroxide, it follows the Markovnikov's rule. Okay, here new word is used, peroxide. In Markovnikov's rule, he doesn't use any peroxide. While in the presence of peroxide, such as benzoyl peroxide or hydrogen peroxide, the addition of HBr to unsymmetrical alkene takes place contrary to Markovnikov's rule. So we call it is as a peroxide effect or Kharash effect or anti-Markovnikov's rule. Okay, peroxide effect because in the presence of peroxide, Kharash effect, the scientist name or anti-Markovnikov's rule. So here we take example. Suppose to alkene react with HBr in the presence of peroxide, the product generated is 1-bromopropane. While in the absence of peroxide, the product is 2-bromopropane. So this is follow the Markovnikov's rule, and here the major product is 1-bromopropane, which produced by the anti-Markovnikov's addition reaction or the peroxide effect. So we can see first mechanism, free radical mechanism. So here radical is also act as a electrophile and alkene is act as a nucleophile. But what happened here? It is divided in 3-step mechanism. First is chain initiation, chain propagation and chain termination. Chain initiation means starting the reaction, starting the chain, initiate the chain by formation of the free radicals. So peroxide contain 2 oxygen atom in their structure, hydrogen peroxide or benzoyl peroxide. Here I am using general formula. This oxygen atom is attached by this sigma bond, covalent bond. Okay. So they undergo homolysis process and produce these radicals. Now radical is also we call the intermediate, unstable intermediate. So unstable intermediate go faster in the reaction and produce the stable product. So this radical extract the hydrogen atom from this hydrogen bromide molecule to produce the bromide radical. Okay. First, this radical converted into stable molecule. So this bromine is act as a radical. Now second step is chain propagation step. So here our starting molecule is alkene. So propene react with this bromine radical. Here bromine act as a electrophile and alkene act as a nucleophile. Okay, so bromine attached and produce the secondary radical. Same like carbocation stability, free radical, tertiary free radical is more stable compared to secondary free radical. The secondary free radical is more stable compared to primary free radical. So secondary free radical, which is more stable, so easier to form and which would be formed if it attached to other carbon atom. So here secondary free radical is generated. This secondary free radical react with another HBr molecule, hydrogen bromide molecule, and produce the 1-bromopropane and another bromine radical to continue the process. So chain propagation reaction is continuously occur. The second and third step is continuously occur and occur. So chain termination. Eventually, 2 free radicals hit each other. Okay, when 2 free radicals combine together or come to close together in the reaction, they produce the molecule. Okay, and so because of this molecule, the process is stopped here and no free radical are formed. So here the reaction is stopped. Okay. So anti-Markovnikov rule state that in the addition of hydrogen halide to an alkene, the hydrogen atom add to the carbon atom that already has the less number of hydrogen atom. Okay, totally opposite to the Marconi-Cause rule. So what they tell that in anti-Marconi, हाइड्रोजन एटम हम कहाँ पे ऐड करेंगे? द कार्बन एटम विच कैरी लेस नंबर ऑफ हाइड्रोजन एटम. तो हैलाइड हम अल्टीमेटली कहाँ पे ऐड करेंगे? द कार्बन एटम विच कैरी ग्रेटर नंबर ऑफ हाइड्रोजन एटम. ओके, तो यहाँ पे ब्रोमाइन एज ए इलेक्ट्रोफाइल एक्ट करता है, जबकि इन मार्कोनी-कॉज रूल में क्या था? हाइड्रोजन इज एक्ट एज अ इलेक्ट्रोफाइल. So bromine is act as an electrophile. So we add to the carbon atom which carry greater number of hydrogen atom. Okay. And hydrogen को हमने कहाँ add किया? The carbon atom which carry less hydrogen atom. And it produce the more substituted alkyl halide. So here the major product is 1-bromopropane. Clear? Second reaction, hydroboration oxidation reaction, which also produce the anti-Marconi-Cause rule. So this is the two-step process which include the hydroboration step and oxidation step. So first boron we add in the reaction, and then in the presence of hydrogen peroxide, oxidation step is occurred and the final product alcohol is produced, and it follow the anti-Marconi-Cause rule. So anti-Marconi-Cause rule, it comes under the free radical addition reaction. Okay, difference between Marconi-Cause and anti-Marconi-Cause reaction. In the exam, there are many types of questions are asked. Means different style they ask this question. Either they ask difference between these two reaction, or simply they ask explain the Marconi-Cause rule with mechanism of action, or anti-Marconi-Cause rule with mechanism of action, or they ask explain the peroxide effect or Kharash effect in detail, or they ask alkene react with hydrogen bromide in the absence of peroxide, and alkene react with hydrogen bromide in the presence of peroxide effect. So you can understand first question and then write down the answer. Okay. So difference is, first we write down the definition in both the rules. Then Marconi-Cause rule, the intermediate generated is carbocation, while in anti-Marconi-Cause a radical reaction. Then which type of reaction they follow? The Marconi-Cause rule follow the electrophilic addition reaction, means ionic reaction, electrophilic and nucleophilic reaction, while anti-Marconi-Cause follow the free radical reaction. Then rearrangement of primary carbocation to secondary carbocation. That means if rearrangement is possible in the compound, so we generate the more stable intermediate. Okay, so it gives the more and more product. The amount of product is higher. So we try if possible rearrangement. So least stable carbocation is converted into more stable carbocation. Same in anti-Marconi-Cause reaction, rearrangement of primary radical to secondary radical. So, and then we write down one of the example. Here take same example, like propane react with HBr in the absence of peroxide, so it produces 2-bromopropane. And propane react with HBr in the presence of peroxide, so it produces the 1-bromopropane. Okay, clear? So I hope all of you are clear with this my explanation. Thank you.